The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So what do we have going on today? Well, it's fairly quiet for options expiration. Didn't have much movement yesterday either. Normally you get one of those 2 days fairly quick. I was pretty sure the market was going higher after the open this morning. I just thought maybe a lot higher. Never saw an entry. Was looking to buy some calls for the end of the day. Don't see anything in here that gives me any confidence there'll be a last 30-minute run. But, yeah, you never know. Things can change. But I don't see a lot setting up right now. We're at 2806 on the S&P cash. So how does this all set up? Volume in the market hasn't been great, either up or down. And so a lot of people, in fact, this morning, talking to a few people, everybody seemed to be ready for the impending crash of the stock market. Well, you know what? Everybody, when they're all ready for it to go lower, it don't seem to go lower. As I repeat often from Mark Twain, when you find yourself on the side of majority, it's time to pause and reflect. And as far as I can tell, my model continues to show about a 90% probability that we test 2840 before we see 2760. So even if you're bearish, I think you want to wait and this happen. Now, what could happen this week? Well, we're going into fund buying starting kind of on the end of Friday. I suspect that Friday will be the day of markup going into the first couple of days of fund buying into the next month. So could we have a couple of weekdays? Yeah, I think the answer is yes. More likely, I suspect we're going to have more of the same, which is good earnings like Microsoft today in most of them. I think Netflix was kind of the one odd man out this week. But Microsoft, well within, it was basically setting up for $3 higher or lower. It's well in that range. I think it got over 108 today, but we'll take a look at it. There's just not a lot happening. Earnings are better. They're not blowout, but, you know, like Microsoft, they're a nickel better. The CEOs are rather optimistic. The EPSs haven't been going through the moon. They're up there, but the market and the economy continues to go and be a little stronger. Of course, we had the Fed chairman say that, you know what, I think when those GDP second quarter numbers come out, they're going to be pretty good. And, of course, this has been where almost all of the stocks have failed, which is in the second quarter of the year earnings announcements. And, you know, is there going to be a handful of them? We'll look at Deckers and some of these other ones out here today that missed. But for the most part, no, things are okay. Are they boffo? No. Anything doubling? No. But they're not bad. And the CEOs are not guiding down. So I have to say that could you pull back in this market? Yeah. Is it going to be the end of the world? No. Are we more than likely going to set up for some kind of run into fund buying? I would say the odds in my models actually show that we're probably about 90% looking for some kind of run into fund buying and at least a test of that 28, I'm going to call it 45, 50-ish level on the S&P cash. And you get there, you might even get back up into that old-time high. And at that point, maybe it's worth it. But, man, everybody I meet now is all ready to go short. And every time I hear that, it just kills me, because I know, one, that when everybody's ready to go short, and I'm not just talking people I know around TFNN, I mean, a lot of people that I talk to, kind of in a foul, bitter mood, all looking at their feet. Man, it's when euphoria is out there that I get nervous. And there is no euphoria. There's everybody saying the market's headed lower, or at least most people are telling me that market's headed lower now, or the market's weak, or anything else. And guess what? That's generally when the market goes higher. Is everybody zigging? The market tends to zag. There is a yin for every yang. And guess what? I just kind of see this thing maybe it takes all week and Friday to get up into those levels. Maybe it takes all the way into fund buying to get to those levels. But I would say I'd keep your powder dry, keep your options open, and keep your mind flexible. Don't get too invested in one side of the market or the other. I always love Jesse Livermore's quote, and that is that there's no bull side of the market or bear side, just the right side. And if you're all wound up for whatever reason about a particular move and drive in the market, I think everybody this morning I was looking at, and I said, today is options expiration. And everybody looked at their feet and went right on. There wasn't much in the way of people thinking that this market wasn't going to collapse today, that the numbers and what Trump said was horrible, and everything was that. And guess what? There is kind of a half-life to what happens in the media these days. For those people that didn't spend a lot of time in physics class, half-life is how long it takes for something that's radioactive to decay to its non-radioactive lower level. It's, 12 million years for uranium or something, or 120 million years. Some things, it's 5 days. 5 days, you got nothing. That's all it takes for things radioactive to go. Now, those things are actually the worst. People go, oh, uranium. No, it's the stuff that decays really quick. Those are the ones that give off all those alpha particles and kill you real quick. A lot of stuff that has long half-lives. Yeah, if you sit on it for the next month, yeah, is it going to be problematic? I worry about the stuff that literally breathe it in and it kills you the next day. There are things that are that radioactive. They decay that fast. Most of them are man-made. But you know what? There's kind of a half-life of the news cycle these days. It lasted all of about 35 minutes this morning, and it was over. And I have a lot of, I think I had a lot of people that looked at just, somebody made a comment that everybody left for the Hamptons today up in New York City after the first 30 minutes. And I think that that may be applicable in this point. So, like I said, I was looking for a lot, never found anything, never put any position on it. But that could change mid next week. I'm looking for an attack on the highs. We'll be back after this.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
That it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
What's going on here? I hate this when this happens. Doesn't like me. I don't know why this thing doesn't like me today. But, well, since I planned on this, let's do this, which is, I'm going to have to go to Plan B. And Plan B is history. If I can find it, historical.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Well, I had to go the long way to get it, but on this day at 10:56 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, American astronaut Neil Armstrong, 240,000 miles from Earth, speaks these words to more than 1 billion people listening at home. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Stepping off the lunar landing module Eagle, Armstrong became the first human to walk on the surface of the moon in 1972 in December. The last man to walk on the moon in the last 46 years haven't been back. And I think we've done a little bit more work on mapping the moon, but I think NASA actually said that, well, for manned exploration, we're actually going to go back to the moon, which is the smart thing to do. It's got, 1/3 the gravity of the Earth, and guess what? It's only 3 days away. We need to get there, figure out how to build habitats, how to handle just about everything about living on another planet. And then maybe we can get ready to go to Mars as we figure other things out. But you know what? Kind of disappointing. It's never been in the human experience that we went somewhere and then gave up and came back and never finished exploration. But we did in this. Maybe the high cost, maybe it just seemed like we couldn't go any higher after that. But yeah, 46 years is a long time to kind of give up. But yeah, maybe we're getting ready to go back once again and plant our flags. Who knows? So anyway, we've got a lot of stuff going on. Got some questions in the den already. We will be with Tom O'Brien at 4:30, and we'll talk about that. Have some questions about some of these IPOs that we've been talking about in that Tech Insider area. DocuSign was one of them. If you're unfamiliar with it, we talked about this one, what, 2 months ago with Tom? Going to be something like that, maybe a month and a half ago. Well, it looks like it came out, yeah, maybe a month and a half ago. It's starting to kind of line up. These things are starting to base out. Of course, this $50.34 low out here at June 28th is what you want to see tested. You want to see that probably pierced and come back up. You want to take an abundance of cautions with IPOs. One of the things I do like about this one is there are just not a lot of people competing with them. You're unfamiliar with them. When you click on something, in fact, I went to the bank, I don't know, a few weeks ago, and I had to click on something, and it was DocuSign that actually had the setup for it. And you know what? It didn't really say DocuSign. I had to ask the guy. Oh yeah, that's the company we use. So in signing those papers, I just clicked, and it wasn't anything big. And that was kind of it. But if you want to get rid of the handwritten documentation process, and actually remember when computers were promised to get rid of paperwork instead of create paperwork? All they really have done over the last, I don't know, since mid 80s is actually generate a lot more paper. This is actually one that's kind of on that side of actually getting to the point of reducing the paper and all the forests we cut down to make them. But yeah, pretty good looking. But I want to see a test of the low, which is $50.34. Yeah. Question in there about whether Adobe should have owned this with PDFs. They just never went the last mile on this. And a lot of people don't know what they have, but they actually tried. They just never figured out how to actually make it so that they could actually prove who signed and who didn't. Not exactly sure why, probably because they were making so much money already at other places. DBX. Take a quick look at this one. This is Dropbox. I am not a fan of Dropbox for buying it for the for any kind of investment. It doesn't look bad out here. I don't buy the buyout rumors, and you know it popped to 43.50. What is the one of the other things you want to be watching in these is the what is this DBX? When is the okay? Okay, expiration is 9/19. I would say that we're too close now to lock up expiration for me to even think about being in Dropbox. I would wait a good week after that. So September-ish. What is that? September 19th. You know, you go about 2 weeks and the insiders don't rush to the aisles to sell this, then that'll give you a good indication. In fact, I was in a stock that I got out of and waited for the 2 weeks, got back into it, and it paid off nicely. I sold it, what, yesterday or the day before? I can't even remember now. Sold it in the last couple of days. But The only reason I bought it was it acted so well after the lockup was over, and I saw that no one was selling internally to any extent in the company, and went back into it. So, these things are, at least this one is a little long in the tooth for me. I would wait and see how it acts after the IPO lockup expires. And of course, you can always go to the NASDAQ site and pick up most of the lockup expirations on them. What else? Avalar. Of course, this is a cloud play, Dropbox. I just don't see where they really need what these guys do that much. I think anybody can duplicate it in any of these big companies without having to pay a fairly high price for Dropbox. There's just nothing that they have that I see that is a barrier to entry at all. Doesn't mean that someone won't do something stupid. That happens a lot. We'll look at one more IPO. Before we get back, and we'll look at some other stocks out here today.
The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary Power Law Vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of The Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're looking at Avalara. We talked about this one. Kind of interesting. I'm not ready to buy it yet either. I'm hoping that it gets back below this first day, which is the 16th, no, the 15th of June. And, you know, you're kind of into that candle a bit, but I'd love to see a test lower, maybe a washout. I like the long term on this. If you're unfamiliar with this company, not very surprising, but they handle tax issues not only in the United States, but across the world. And I think that's probably a good thing when we're, especially in the States here, as smaller companies are going to get into collecting taxes everywhere. And I got to sneeze. And I'm done sneezing. And some people have asked me why I sneeze so much. That's because I've got some lights on here to make me look like I'm not in a cave. And there is a thing. I'll send you a link to a YouTube video about why bright lights make some people sneeze. It is actually in my genes. They've discovered that. So it's kind of interesting. But anyway, Avalar, I still want this thing to kind of wash out a lot of folks. I think a lot of people, you know, these huge days up to 59.40 showed the gamblers win it. I want some very decent proof that the gamblers are out. And I like it going sideways here. Man, would I love a bad day in the market to see this wash all the fast money crowd out and give it an opportunity to get in. We just haven't had that yet. So even if I was wrong and the market came down, I'd be happy because it's going to give me at least an opportunity to look at some of these stocks and see how they react on the downside. I don't understand this. So maybe this message isn't for me. Huh. Okay. Certainly don't understand the comment, but we'll find out. Okay, let's go ahead and get back to Microsoft. It's got a nice candle up here today. As we said, these things had about a 3-point move baked in on the options, so no one was looking for a whole lot. We got up to 108.20, kind of faded back a little bit. Earnings were good. Were they boffo? The answer is no. Is that enough to give a little bit of selling? And also the market itself, it's off 1 point on the S&P cash. Going into a Friday, going into summer on light volume, not big surprising that we're not having some big runs. But my guess is this is probably going to come back to about 105 next week as the volume dissipates out there. This could continue on. Looks like it kind of has filled the last part of an ABC on the way up and may just need to consolidate for a while. But one of the best calls of all time for earnings. Literally, it's hard to figure out what's going on with a company when they're doing everything, almost everything correctly. I saw some pot shots out there at them today, but they were fairly weak arguments. They weren't. No one was out there saying, well, they're doing everything wrong. Maybe this pulls back in a general pullback of the market, but it's not pulling back because they're doing something wrong, that they're not executing correctly. In fact, we'll talk to Tom at 3:30 today about a company that is messing up and executing incorrectly. And it wouldn't be a company that you would think. And certainly you're probably not going to hear much about it, my guess, because the press kind of loves them. But we will talk about them today. Okay, let's check back in and see. The worst performer, of course, has been Netflix this week. So let's go back and take a quick look and see how they are doing. You know, you had kind of a big reversal day, came up a little bit. You're still at about 360. And they were able to wash a lot of folks out of this down to 344. That is a high volume move, but my guess is that before this does fall apart, you could see this back at 390 or 395 again. I don't think I would be chasing this one short down here. Does it need a lot of consolidation around 350? It probably does. The earnings call didn't slam the door on future expansion, but it sure dimmed the light in the room a great deal. Okay. Yeah, let's go back here. I got some more emails. MPC is a big oil company. The company is never heard of. Pull that up. I don't think. Yes, I think everybody's heard of Marathon Petroleum. I had this in my newsletter. What I disliked was that I didn't own it. I did have the chart in it this week. Or last week, was the test of the May 1st lows of $70 with 21 million shares. You got into it with half of it, so you knew you were going to bounce. But the energy off the top was more than the energy on the way back up to that high from $70. So that June 4th high showed more energy on the way down and on the way up. My guess is that you're looking for a consolidation. That may be another pullback to about $70 on this. And at that level, if the volume all dries up and you pull back on light volume, that may be the point to get it. Anytime the energy is more on the way down than it is on the way up, you break the previous low, even on lighter volume, but the energy on the way down, you normally don't have an instant V bottom on these things. Normally you get at least one more retest into that previous low of $70. You don't need to retest to 68.18, but a light volume test of 70 would probably be enough to start planting your flag. You do have a high volume test up there at the high at 83.33, excuse me. So you got about a $13 run, and your stop would just be below $68. If it closed below that, that's the negative side. So launching a trade in this at $70 with a loss of $2 and a probable $13 higher run seems to me like a good risk reward. So there you go from Warren in Denver. Yeah, you just want a little bit of a pullback. Now, of course, Monday and Tuesday are going to be options rollover. And in that rollover, a lot of times you have one day up and one day down. Wednesday is when the market starts returning back to wherever it's going to go. So if you had a nice down day on Monday and Tuesday, you caught a few people off sides on this, and they get down to $70 and volume is nothing. I'd look at this one pretty hard. The only thing I would have said is there's probably better stocks out there that had lighter volume off the previous highs. But if you're just looking for something in a trading range, it doesn't look bad. We'll be back in a minute.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks! Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profile So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And we're back. Anyway, Marathon Petroleum looks good. Did we get that taken care of? I think we did. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, there's not a good chart for this, but man, Baker Hughes had numbers out again today, and Canada is just ripping it up when it comes to drill. Talk about drill, baby, drill. They took that to heart. Up 14 rigs today to 211. Just a few months ago, they were at 150 rigs. These guys are going donuts to, well, I don't think I can say that. But they are most enthusiastic about drilling. We're down 8 to 1,046. Now, a lot of these are down for, in the U.S., are down for maintenance, getting ready for the hurricane season. So those will probably pop back up next week. We didn't really have that much. We didn't have any increases. Most of the people involved in the oil rigs were actually getting ready for all that stuff down there in the Gulf if it ever happens. But so look for the next couple of weeks for the rigs to kind of come back to flat for the U.S. But up north in the Great White North, not having to worry about hurricanes, up 14. I talked to somebody that's kind of in this industry, and they think that this is a big move for Canada to really go after international business and get ready for that giant new pipeline that goes all the way down to the Gulf. So interesting, that's it. You can give me a call, 877-927-6648. And, of course, you can email me at path@tfnn.com. And, of course, you can always put a message in the den, which I just spammed accidentally. Sorry about that, everybody. But that's it. Okay. Let's take a look at some other stuff. I know somebody wanted me to look at something. Wanted me to look at AMAT. So Ron from Orlando says, AMAT, what do you want us to look at? Didn't give me any more out there. You had kind of a bounce. Of course, this one had a big downturn on the last earnings day. When are these guys coming back for it? See if we got it. AMAT. Okay, they're August 16th. But this thing really, you had a couple of days up to where this thing gapped down to on earnings. And then that was it. They're back to the sell. This is probably one of the weaker in this sector. And not a lot of explanation in the last earnings call about why. I think you need to have a test of 44.57 on lighter volume to get involved in it. I'm not exactly sure why these guys would have lower sales other than the quarter slowdown. Maybe it's the way the months fell. They really didn't explain it. But you've got a low at $44.83 that had 22 million shares. You did test that. That's the February 9th low on lighter volume of 13.7 million shares. So I suspect that is going to be that $45 is going to be a fairly decent area. And maybe we'll get a little bit more color on why these guys have failed. Now, let's go to the calendar and start looking about what's happening next week in earnings. On Monday morning, we've got Halliburton. Let's take a quick look at that in this energy sector. Just going sideways here the last 4 or 5 days. Basically, it's support. You'd have to have some really bad news, I think, to blow out the $44 level, which is about where we're at. We got down to it on July 6th, popped back up a little bit, coming back down, but the energy is not a lot. Don't understand why that one would be continually weak. Maybe too many shorts in it, so we'll look at that for a pop on Monday. PetMed Express. This one gapped down on some decent volume back on the 9th of July. Did so with 2 million shares. You're back into it. Yesterday was 700,000 shares. Today, 456,000 shares. Earnings for them on Monday before the bell. We also have Hasbro. This thing continues to get beat up. I'm thinking at one point this thing is going to have a nice run into Christmas. Didn't do too bad. It's off its low of April 23rd at $78.37, kind of back up into this candle of the 7th of February, excuse me, when this one had the big move off that where every stock was getting clamored. This one got a huge bounce. Don't see much in this one either to give you a good indication of what's going on, but I haven't seen much change in their story other than maybe some of the movies, but I don't think those movies are turning into people buying toys for them as much as they once were. Okay, let's see what's after the bell come Monday. So we've got Google after the bell. Let's take a quick look. These guys have been absolutely spamming the daylights out of YouTube sales, which has been probably the big part of their growth. I'd wonder whether they're not doing that because they've got a problem. Nothing's really changed. Got the problem with the EU, that it's up here at the highs, didn't have much energy off this May 3rd low, just kind of moved its way back up. If we're going to have another Netflix warning, a shot across the bow, I think Google seems to me the one that has the most weakness inherent in it. But we'll see. Whirlpool, Crane, and not much happening out there. Let's see what goes on to Tuesday morning. We've got Lockheed Martin, LMT. Yeah, I saw that CLF. Going to talk about that. Maybe we'll get to it in the last segment here. Lockheed Martin back up to its May 24th, 327.13 high. Was $5 short. Just going sideways, of course, before earnings on Tuesday morning. Again, the problem is, actually, energy is about the same on the way up as it is in the way down, so you don't have a really decent clue. You're a little light on volume back on that May 24th high. I don't think that there's anything that has significant weakness that will last in it. Do we have time here? Let's go ahead. CLF was one of the winners or was that Cliffs? Yeah, Cliffs Natural today. Blowout. This one had a lot of people short, and I think that was it. Back in the $10 range. Nice little move out here. That and a handful of others. Was it CLR? I'll look at it. Be back in.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And when we look at what's going on next week, as we get into the fund buying at the end of the month, starting probably on next week. We've got about 4 or 5 days before we get back into the markup period. On Tuesday morning, 3M, Verizon, Kimberly-Clark, Biogen, United Technologies, Harley, JetBlue, Sherwin-Williams, Eli Lilly, ATI. Those are the big ones that morning. Tuesday, we get into, after the bell, into AT&T, Texas Instrument, iRobot. Let's take a quick look at that. IRBT. This one was setting up, if I remember right, as a short position. Pretty much missed it here. 83.62, it got back in and tried to fill this gap from that earnings on the 8th of February when this thing blew up. My guess is that we're looking for, what's that, IRBT? Probably everybody getting a little nervous on this. July 24th. So, yeah, that's, I just said that, didn't I? So shouldn't be a big surprise. We'll look at after the bell. Other things happening, Hawaiian Holdings. That's about it for that. Wednesday, take a quick look. Boeing, Wednesday morning, Grubhub, Freeport McMoran. That looked fairly interesting too. FCX on the back of Cliffs Natural. But you didn't get anything today. So that is interesting. Just a little doji out here for copper and gold. Maybe copper weighs too heavily on FCX. Don't know. You had your big volume down day yesterday, 38 million shares. A doji today, but at least lighter volume, 14.4 million shares compared to yesterday's 38 million shares. But I think you're going to need a lot more energy off the top. Pretty strong on FCX. We'll be back on Monday. Same bat channel, same bat time.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com, educating investors.